with Southern Strut Outdoors. I got Landon with me this morning, so we're trying to double up on some does out here. Maybe get lucky and kill this big 8-pointer I've got pictures of back here. But we got turkeys in the trees in front of us. One of them's a bearded hen that I've been trying to kill for a couple years now. Oh, the turkeys just flew out of the trees. That's way earlier than I expected them to. So hopefully they'll work their way down here and we can get a shot. Alright, it's like 7:50 and we've had a bunch of turkey at the top of the hill. If they work their way down, there's like a bearded hen with them. So I'll shoot her. And then there's a doe that got behind us in blue. But trail camera shows the deer should be piling in here in the next 20 minutes. So we'll see. Hold on, darling. I can't get it.
Mm. Me.
Come on, darling. Yeah, I'm ready.
Me.
Yeah, but I can't find it in the video. There it is. I see it. Wow, that's a big doe. I can't see it like that. There's another room. Got it. Ready? Yep. Oh, she's gonna go down like that.
Alright, it's been an hour after the shot. Landon, right after he flinched on accident and accidentally clicked the button, so it ended the video. So what you didn't see is I shot that deer and she jumped, ran like 8 foot maybe, and then just stood there. And I was like, oh yeah, right there. She's gonna go down right there, you know, because she stood there for probably 8 to 10 seconds, and all of a sudden she just tore off down the field. So anyhow, I've got 5 acres I can hunt right there, and then the road is on the back side of the field there, and then on the other side's a neighborhood. So a bunch of the people in the neighborhood there are glad that I'm shooting the deer. They all tell me I can shoot off their porch and stuff if I want, because they just want to thin the deer out. Because there's, if you drive down through there on an average day, you'll see at least 20 down through there. So, and sometimes you'll see 40. So anyhow, I'm not real worried about it. Landon's on blood. She stopped right here, and there's quite a bit here. So he's on blood at the very beginning. I'm just hoping it doesn't peter out here. Big drops or real little, Landon?
A lot of them. Or stuff like that.
That's not bad.
But there's like big cousins.
There's good consistent blood for the first 6 feet.
Did she run this way?
Maybe.
This way.
You can see blood all the way up through here?
Yeah,
Okay.
you're standing on it.
Okay, good deal. She may have not made it out of the field, Landon. She may have went down in some of those clusters of trees up there.
She might have turned because there's no water.
Just keep going.
Okay.
I'll get back with you once we get farther down the trail. Alright. So we got people mowing all around us. We are a good 400 yards. And we had totally lost blood, and then Landon just found... Hey, Landon just found some over here, Mike.
Got blood over there?
Yeah.
Where's it going?
Okay, after hours of looking way up the ridge, got a call from the neighbor that there's a dead deer down here in the lake. Go ahead and get it, Landon.
It's like frozen solid.
Is it? Yeah, it's super stiff. Pull it on up here. Dude, how did it make it that far?
That was not that bad of a shot.
I know it.
Oh,
Yeah, and it came out the gut, too. It came out the gut, right where we said. All right, I'm going to tag it, and we'll get it out of here. All right, well, I was going to gut her and everything and show y'all where I hit this deer, but I was afraid of my video getting took down, so I didn't. But anyhow, I knew she was quartered to a little bit. I shot. I hit exactly where I was aiming. Probably should have been aiming somewhere else, but I thought that was a good shot, but evidently not. A good place to aim, at least, and evidently not, because I only got one lung, and then I got liver, and then it come out her gut. And so how that deer made it 550 yards is beyond me. And then that's as the crow flies, she zigzags. So I'm not even joking. I bet you she went 700 yards before dying in the lake down there. And then the one guy, they were all trying to get a hold of me because nobody down through there had my number, except for the guy that lets me hunt. So they were all, this guy called this guy, and this guy called this guy, and this guy told him who to call, and this guy said, well, no, I don't let him hunt, it's my neighbor. And anyhow, So, ended up getting permission on some hunting spots just from that phone tag. People saying, oh, I didn't know you hunted over there. Come over here and shoot the deer. So, anyhow, that's awesome. But I've never seen anything like that before. I've heard stories of people getting one lung and the deer not dying. But, like, normally that was like they got one lung and hit the offside shoulder. They normally didn't get lung and liver and gut. And I know liver and gut's not a good shot, but you would just think it would kind of cut everything up. And anyhow, that's just what I thought. I thought I must have pulled it real hard and made a bad shot, but I thought, how in the world do you make a bad shot at 21 yards with a crossbow? You know what I mean? So, anyhow, I guess it doesn't really matter. You know, I got her. I ended up almost losing the deer because the guy that said, hey, come up, you know, it's on my dock. I'm like, okay, I'll be there in just a minute. Well, I failed to tell him that I was about 30 minutes from him, and then I got excited, so I missed 2 of my turns. So anyhow, it took like 40 minutes. Well, I guess he figured I wasn't coming to get it, so he kicked it off his dock out in the lake. And he told me that. I come up and he's like, man, I didn't think he was going to show up. I kicked it off the dock there because I didn't want it down there. And I'm like, oh, no. And he's like, yeah, well, you might go talk to the neighbors, see if it got hung up on theirs. So I went over there, and the guy, he just said, he's like, hey, how are you? And I'm like, good. You know, I told him I'm Donovan, you know. I shot a deer. The guy over here said it was hung up on his dock, but he kicked it off. I'm thinking it's my deer laying down here in the lake. And he goes, but I just got back from kicking that off my dock. Oh man, can I go down there and look? He's like, yeah, go ahead, I don't care. So I went down there. Sure enough, good thing the current wasn't really going because it was still, you know, it was just on the other side of his dock. So Landon had, you know, big old snake boots that are waterproof. So he went down in there, eased up there and got it for me. And sure enough, hit her right where I was aiming. You know, I could have sworn, I feel like I could have shot 10 other deer in the same spot and they would have went down within 200 yards. But what do I know? I'm just so thankful that God blessed me with this. I was literally like, God, please help me find this deer. I've already lost 1 deer this year. And so I was really nervous I was going to lose this one too. And that was going to suck. So anyhow, luckily, my lake down there is actually a river that's got a dam on either side, so it's technically a lake. And it is freezing cold down there. The deer was like almost frozen solid. It was freezing cold. My hands were getting numb dragging it up towards the truck. So the meat was fine. I'm going to double check it in the morning and everything, you know, just I'm going to let it soak for a couple days in salt water just because I did hit gut and everything. And I'll make sure before I eat it and everything. But I am 95% sure that meat is fine. So, anyhow. But either way, that's a big learning experience for me. I'm so blessed that all those people got around to calling me and that God blessed me with that deer and that Landon was able to be there with me. And so anyhow, me and Landon are headed out again tomorrow morning. Gonna hopefully shoot us a deer. I'll shoot another doe. I'm trying to fill the freezer. So I'll shoot me another doe and he's gonna shoot a doe, and so we'll see what happens. But thanks for watching, and catch y'all on the next one.